Alrighty, Sunday night live stream off and running. Hello, Luke. Hello, Megaleech. I see from comments, Glee was here a little while ago, but maybe not here now, but maybe back later. So that's good. Woof, Sunday night, end of another weekend. And I made a video for my cocktail channel before I went live, and which involved drinking a gin and tonic with overproof gin. So I'm a little bit drunk before we start, and I'm bored, so I might have a drink or two during the stream as well. And I made the drink with my purple ice, and the purple color comes off in the drink that you put in it. So I don't know if I don't know if my tongue's going purple, but it is what it is. Luke, I am going well, and I hope you're going well. And Celtic King, I hope you're going well too. As we tool on into another work week, if you're a Monday, Friday kind of person, which I am. Yes, I just had I did have a lazy weekend. I didn't do much, I just did stuff around the house and went out with Mrs. Angry last night. Had dinner, had a few cocktails made for me by someone else, which is always a nice change. I like making my own cocktails, but it's kind of nice when someone else makes them for you. Stella, good evening. Nice to see you. So, where did we go? It was two different cocktail bars. We went out to dinner. I went to one cocktail bar before dinner, had dinner, and then on the way home stopped at another cocktail bar. And it was good. It was good. No, Celtic King, I have not received any mail lately. Assuming Australia Post isn't screwing up, because they are meant to tell me if I get any mail. And I have not had any messages from them lately saying there was mail. By which I mean in my mail box, my GPO box. Home, where all the stuff I order on the internet comes out. I got lots of mail to home from the internet, like this shirt with its somewhat abstract design, but it's like these things are like birds. And I think they kind of look like cocktail glasses as well. Basically, I think this is quite an abstract one. This shirt is quite an abstract one. Musical, are you ready? Your mum's visiting. Work has you moving to another office. So delivery partner show manager jobs. MBM can't make you redundant in August. That sounds complicated. Celtic King, I love the shirt. I've been buying heaps of these like retro shirts. The designs are sort of 60s or 50s, and I kind of like them. They're like groovy dude from the 60s shirts. I like them. I got a whole bunch of them and more coming. So I will continue to be doing fashion parades on the live streams for a while yet. Raiders, hello. Like I think I've got 3 that I haven't worn on the stream yet, and I've got more coming in the mail. So I've just been like a t-shirt guy for the longest time. I had heaps of t-shirts, and it was less common for me to wear button-up shirts. And then I just saw these designs on the internet and quite like them. So I've been getting a bunch of them. Billy Lois, yes, very retro, very retro. I don't know if they've like actually stolen the designs from somewhere, but they definitely have this very sort of 60s vibe to me. Celtic King, there's a whole bunch of websites that got advertised to me on Facebook. And you like click on one, and then all these other ads come up. And every time I say, okay, I bought a shirt from them, I don't need to see their site anymore, then different ones selling essentially the same shirts pop up. Also, makes the ads in my Facebook much gayer as well. Products clearly primarily aimed at gay men keep coming up in my Facebook feed, which is all well and good. But yes, I actually, I was about to say, I don't remember the first one that advertised to me, but I actually think I do. I think it was called Hawaii Lily. But I mean, okay, for argument's sake, if I go into Google and type men's retro shirts, there's some interesting ones pop up, not necessarily the ones I've been getting advertised in. What's this one? Beyond Retro. Men's vintage shirts, vintage Hawaiian shirts, vintage smart shirts, vintage casual shirts. What are casual shirts? Oh, these are long sleeved and some short sleeved, but they're kind of boring. But I just get this shit advertised to me on Facebook all the time. Yes, Billy Lois, the Facebook. We are the product on Facebook. We are being sold to advertisers. A lot of people don't realize that if you're on Facebook or the other major social media, you are essentially the product. You and your attention is being sold to advertisers. And if you get stuff advertised to you want, then well and good. But yeah, the intrusiveness of it is a bit much. But hey, Mega Leech, you missed the start. What comes up if I search abstract shirts? Citizen Wolf, custom fit tees. Oh, actually, that one came up. Hawa Lily, which is the first one I ordered one off, and then all the other ones came up. But yeah, okay. Abstract shirts brought up some of the ones I'd been buying shirts from. And they keep mutating. The stuff that is sold on these sites keeps mutating. There's some very colorful ones, some sort of photo-oriented ones. A shirt called the Chicken Whisperer. I was surprised how many mushroom shirts there were, actually. A lot of mushroom shirts. But that's the thing. So, yeah. Basically, if you click on one, then you're going to get a shit ton of ads for other ones. And even when you start saying, stop showing me these ads, you'll just get ads for different websites that are actually selling the same products. So it is what it is. I'm going to pour another drink. The thing young Mr. Angry is doing for his party. That's vodka with bubble gum in it. Oh god, it's turning into a gross sludge. I also don't know if I'll be able to get this bubble gum out of this bottle, or if I'll have to say goodbye to this bottle. I'm obviously going to filter the vodka so then get pink bubble gum vodka. Don't know if I could be able to get the bubblegum residue out, though. It's another one of my clarified drinks. I think that faint blue-green color comes from, I used blue curacao in this drink. That was a couple of weeks ago, so I don't really remember. How much is in there? A lot, I think. Okay, it's actually 2 drinks, not 1 drink. Don't drink it all, Angry. You've made that mistake before. Because this is a really fucking big glass, and the temptation is to fill it up. That is way too much drink if I do that. Celtic King Toby gets advertised curtains and unsurprisingly religious stuff. Yeah, sometimes the ads are appropriate and sometimes not. You may not be surprised to hear I get quite a lot of booze advertised to me. So, yes, which again, usually I like. So, I'm fine with that. And I was fine with these shirts, but I bought them. I'm not going to buy any more of them, I don't think. Although there were some very cocktail-oriented ones, and I think they were trying to get me. But in the coming weeks, one should arrive this coming week, a cocktail one. And then these sites tend to take a while to deliver, like, a month. So the other cocktail shirts I ordered will probably take a couple more weeks to a month. Because I ordered some last week, and some were for me and some were for young Mr. Angry. Like, he was looking over my shoulder, and I just kind of went, "Do you like any of these? I'll order you some while I'm at it." And he picked a couple, and I picked a couple. So that's going to arrive sometime in the next 3-4 weeks. We'll see. Go through one of those phases where I order so many things off the internet. When I get a notification saying, "You've got a delivery coming," I'm like, cool, I don't even know what that is. There's so many things that could be. I don't actually know what it is. Coming up was some booze that I didn't buy. Someone said they were going to send me some booze, and I don't know if and when they're going to send that, but that could arrive anytime. I've got shirts coming, and I've got some slippers coming. So there you go. Annette, heidi-ho. It's the thing from the bazooka bubblegum young Mr. Uncle used in the thing. Penny parachuter. Place a penny on the floor at your feet. Each player takes this paper, aims and drops it at the penny. Whoever lands the paper on top of the penny, covering it, wins. The loser has to do an impression of a 3-legged grizzly bear in a rodeo. Ooh, and there's a code that unlocks something at bazookajoe.com. Clearly, I should enter that, right? I should actually go to bazookajoe.com and see what comes up. So, no, that's wrong. bazookajoe.com. I think I did comma, not dot. Play of the day. Sorry, we are not operating in your area. Oh, how about fuck you? It's the fucking internet, you fucking bastards. Billy Lois, it was a trap. I was fucking doing. Stella, Australia Post tracking app's good. Let you give see, gives you shipments nicknames. Give a bunch of stuff you see. But see, it doesn't all come from Australia Post. Sometimes it comes through couriers. And the last one I got a message for was from a courier. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow or Tuesday. That could be the slippers. The nice woolen. I bought these really nice woolen slippers a couple years ago, and they're starting to wear out. And like when it was getting towards the end of winter, and I noticed them sort of starting to wear, I thought I should get replacements, and I didn't because I thought, winter's almost over. I won't wear them summer. I wore them all summer, like waking up, and I don't get dressed until lunchtime usually. Like I just get up and I'm put on pajama pants and a dressing gown and my slippers and log on for work, do a morning meeting, do some work. And sometime between mid-morning and lunch, I'll have a shower and actually get dressed. So I was wearing these slippers every fucking day, but they're really worn. And so I went onto the website because they were very good slippers. So I went on, I did buy them at a shop, but it's not there anymore. So I decided I'll go onto the website for the maker. They're an Australian maker, like make them out of sheepskin. And they're not Ugg boots, but they're kind of in that ballpark, actually. And so I ordered some. I think that's what's coming. Nice new slippers Celtic King, I should start an angry clothing company. I kind of did at one point. I was doing handmade shirts, probably in what could be regarded as my peak of popularity on YouTube. I'd do this handmade shirt and put it on eBay and sell it. A lot of work. Those are handmade shirts for a lot of work. Yum. That is a nice drink. Okay. So was it 8:15? Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I just saw the red thing. What's that? Oh, God. They want to install some updates. Better not fucking force an update during this stream. But I got to try and remember to actually do it at the end of the stream. So it doesn't fucking pop up in another stream later. Yes, I agree, musical aviator. Work attire, slippers and pants optional. I have to admit I was joking, like, when they're trying to get us to go back to the office, they've been these online staff meetings talking about it. You can submit questions, and I'm just submitting pajamas in the office are okay now, right? Because I don't really want to change. I've been wearing pajamas for the last year, and I don't want to change. So Stella, some couriers let you track through Australia Post. TNT doesn't. Just to be a little bit more rude, they went off of their own app for download in Australia. I kind of like the surprise, quite honestly. When it's got to the stage where I've ordered that many things, I don't know what's coming. And I get to think going, something's coming. I'm like, cool. What is it? I don't know what it is. Something's going to show up and it's going to be a surprise. And once or twice, it's been this genuine surprise. It's like, oh, of all the possibilities that I was considering, that wasn't one of them. I didn't realize that was going to come. Neat. So, yes, that's the world I live in now. Waiting for things to arrive from online. I think what I've got now, still out in the world, because I got quite a lot last week. It involved, I got a GoPro camera, some shirts, and some booze. So I think what I've still got, slippers, some shirts, and if Steve the bartender sends me the gin he said he was going to send me. I want to become internet pals with Steve the bartender because he is by far the biggest YouTube cocktail channel. And if I can get a shout out from him, it might sort of goose the growth of my channel, which would be nice. All I want from my cocktail channel on YouTube is to be well known enough that people send me free booze and invite me to events. That's all I want. Don't really want to make a lot of money off it. Just be sort of successful enough that I get free booze and invites to events. You're doing Stella ordering sheepskin Ugg boots. Bounce from Perth to Melbourne, back to Perth, up to the Golf Links. Good Lord, that's a bit weird. Yeah, these aren't actual Ugg boots. The company that makes them calls themselves Emu. But, I mean, they're not 100 miles. They're sheepskin. And, the sheep, the wool bits on the inside. So it's the same family as Ugg boots. Billy Lois, you had a time where the post office kept your computer parts for 3 days. Oh, no. And you were building your own computer and waiting to finish it. That's so frustrating. That is so frustrating. Sorry, Stella, great Uggies. Swarovski crystals for buttons, because why not be extra with your Uggies? Fucking yeah. Abso-fucking-lutely. Oh, go and be super fucking extra with your Uggies. I'm absolutely on board with that. God damn, I make good drinks sometimes. I don't know who was in the stream on Friday night, but I did one with Abigail where we made a goth martini. So it was a very dark martini. Normally a martini is gin and dry vermouth. So it's normally like pretty much a clear drink. But we did gin and sweet vermouth, which is red, which made a sort of dark red drink. And then we added the brine from some black olives. And so it was this dark red black. It was actually pretty cool. It tasted good. And this is a milk clarified version of the sweet vermouth martini. I haven't properly tasted. Maybe I'll taste it now, actually. Billy Lewis, people put rocks in air. Oh, fuck. Yes, what Billy Lewis is referring to, someone who is into crystals and think crystals are a thing that protects you. They glued crystals to their steering wheel and saying like, it's the calming energy to keep me safe while I'm driving. But it was one of those cars where the airbag deploys from the steering wheel. So it basically put these rocks on where the airbag explosively deploys, which is essentially turning their airbag into a claymore mine. An absolutely fucking horrific thing. Still, yeah, felt sorry for the guy that sold Uggies overseas. So the American mob slapped him with lawsuits. Yeah, I think Australian manufacturers successfully challenged. There was some American company who successfully trademarked the term Ugg boots because the American Trademark Office had no idea of what the term was. And I think Australian manufacturers successfully challenged that trademark, although I'm not sure. Raiders, yes. ATO should have reimbursed me for my alcohol purchases. If I start a money-making business that involves alcohol, then purchasing alcohol becomes a tax deduction. So, yeah, maybe. Maybe I just want to, sort of build the YouTube channel over the next 10 years as I lead up to retirement, to be actually making money. So I make a bit of money in my retirement. So I just be this drunk old guy making cocktails. That'd be fun. That'd be the fucking life. Hellion, hello, Kirsten. And you've probably already seen, I bet you're on their mailing list. I notice that the Melbourne Gin Festival, after having to cancel this year and last year, is already advertising the 2022 Gin Festival for Melbourne, which is going to happen. It'd be good. Oh, yes, Stella. Yeah, you're right. It's bad, but funny. Crystal Claymores because hippies are dumb. Absolutely. So that's the thing. Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you for advice as well, Kirsten. Oh, Annette, yes, we did see you participating in chat from a bar on Friday night and got a few giggles out of it. Guessed that you were having a bit of a challenge there. Yeah, Stella, I didn't really hear how that case ended, but there was an obvious case for telling the US Trademark Office they'd made a mistake in granting a trademark for Ugg boots. But I don't actually know for sure what happened. But yes, so Kirsten, I was going to say, I was going to ask you for advice because I've been hitting the Archie Rose Overproof Gin pretty hard. There's not all that much of it left. I didn't know if you had a suggestion for a different Overproof Gin for me to try because I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. I've had the Brogan's Way, and obviously now I've got the Archie Rose Overproof Gin. I'm just wondering if you had another recommendation for when I finish that. And I used some of it on Friday night, used some of it again today. So that's interesting. Of the 3 cocktail videos I'm uploading to YouTube this week, 2 of them feature Archie Rose Overproof Gin. So, okay. Thank you, Kirsten. You have tickets to Junipalooza in Melbourne and Sydney, and the one that's advertising is Ginpalooza. You don't recommend. That's an important tip. Thank you. Annette, you were being challenged. The bartender wouldn't serve you. Sounds like a shitty stuff. Oh my God, Stella's got bread in the oven and feeding the pets. Lucky pets and lucky you, bread in the oven. What's the thing I had today? Some baked cauliflower that Mrs. Angry made that was fucking yum. It had salt sprinkled on it, and it was this salty, sweet treat. It was really good. Yes, Luke, the Middle East is fucked at the moment. The terrifying shit that the state of Israel does is really bad. And it's just super bad times for so many people there at the moment. It'd be really nice if things were slightly less shit in the Middle East. Well, it's not even the Middle East, it's Israel. It's happening in Israel and Palestine. And I know some people would get upset at me for even suggesting Palestine was a thing or a place, but it is. And there is some fucking horrific shit happening. So I think I actually want to try some of this clarified goth martini. So, okay, we don't want to go to Gin Palooza. We want to go to Junipalooza. Because you went to a whiskey show yesterday. Currently discussing if you want to go to Taz Whiskey Week in August. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Bill Lewis, you love to see the Middle East, so much history, cool stuff. And yes, it is dangerous and things are blowing up. Okay, so I'm going to look up Junipalooza. Junipalooza on Best Gin Party in Melbourne. Australia's first gin festival. Okay, so they are saying 2021 tickets. So the Boot Builders Yard down at South Wharf. Okay. Bookings. Can book a table, 2 to 20 guests. Group of 10 guests will have the table reserved for 2 hours. Larger group can enjoy the space for 3 hours. 16. No, that's today. Oh, no, that's just the Boat Builders Yard. That's not Junipalooza. Ugh. I've gotten confused. Junipalooza. What is Junipalooza? All right, I can't work it out. It's too confusing. Not that one. Junipalooza. Oh, wow. It's so fucking confusing. So many Junipalooza Melbourne. So confusing. Friday, 22nd October to Sunday, 24th October. Okay. God, so confusing. So confusing. Tickets from $48 to $58. The Timber Yard in Port Melbourne. Meet the Maker Festival. Over 200 Australian gins represented by the distilleries who make them. Oh, yes. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tribute to gin. Routine. Drink water and eat. All right. So what do you get with the tickets? 143 remaining. Wait, Saturday and Sunday. Ooh, Saturday and Sunday are sold out. God damn. This is popular. Saturday and Sunday. This is for an event in October, and Saturday and Sunday are already sold out. God damn. Okay. Going Friday and Saturday. Maybe Friday will be quieter. Yeah, maybe I should go on Friday. Starts at like 5 o'clock Friday afternoon. Oh, okay. Something to think about. 60 different producers with 2 gins each. It's just like, how many can you taste though? You can only, even if you're just sipping, you can only taste so many because you're fucking legless. It sounds like a challenge though. Speaking of Junipalooza, like clarified overproof gin and with purple ice. You can see the big lump of purple ice in there. It's ridiculous. That's colored by purple cabbage. That's why you're doing 2 sessions, pacing yourself, getting some of them in one session and some in another. Well, if I get to go at all, I don't get that option. The only tickets left are for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are sold out. So that's a popular event. The fact that an event that isn't until October is sold out now is pretty goddamn impressive. So, yeah. Luke, did I ever try doing what to the Vegemite vodka? Freezing it. You can't actually freeze vodka unless you have some sort of really over-the-top industrial freezer, because it takes a very low temperature to freeze vodka. Well, that's good. Clarified goth martini. Oh, okay, Kirsten. Tickets from 2020 rolled over. That could explain it as well. After trying a bunch of martini recipes with Mrs. Angry, we decided what she likes most is a 50-50 martini, but made with sweet vermouth. Normally, you'd make it with dry vermouth, but do a 50-50 with sweet vermouth. And so she ordered it in one of the bars we went to on Saturday night. Said, can I get a 50-50 martini made with sweet vermouth? And the guy who's taking the order looked really confused and went, usually we do it with the other vermouth. And she said, I know, that's why I'm specifically telling you, I want one made with sweet vermouth. Okay. And he went, okay. It was like he thought she was making a mistake when she actually really specifically said, and because if you just say I want a martini, they're going to make it with dry vermouth. So she said, I want 50-50 made with sweet vermouth. And the guy went, but that's different. But she got it and it was good. So, it's good. Ooh, Kirsten, you're going to tell me some names. Billy Lewis, off to work. Thanks for dropping by just pre-work, my friend. I hope you have a good day at work. A good shift, whatever it is you do at work. Goddamn. I like variety in drinks. Like this one that I had a little drinky of is quite sweet. And even though this martini is made with sweet vermouth, it's comparatively dry. So really quite different taste. That's what I love about cocktails. Just the variety when you're making real cocktails. So do you want to know, am I ever a snob? Like if I say like cocktail, someone can say, yeah, I like it, and they describe something that's basically vodka and fruit juice. I'm like, yeah, You do you. That's a shit drink. But I mean, yeah, it's vodka and fruit juice. You're drinking it to get drunk. Cool. And yes, I arguably I drink cocktails to get drunk, but I definitely also drink cocktails for the taste experience. Ooh, all right. Some recommendations from Kirsten. The Carew Distillery Lightning Gin. So I'm going to have to look each of these up. Carew Distillery from Grossvale, New South Wales. Okay. Yes, I'm over 18. From the mouth of the devil's wilderness. Dun, 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 lightning gin. Free local shipping. Nice. Wonder if I'm local. Gin and limited release. Well, okay, I just want to see what their limited releases are now. Virtual masterclass. Virtually guided tasting experience. Sold out barrel aged. People love barrel aged gin. Gin infused chocolates. Dang. Okay. But back to their gins. $95 for the Lightning Gin. 57.5% for 95%. Okay. Bomback Distillery in Western Australia. Okay. Bomback Distillery. Bomback Distillery, West Australian roots. Their gin. Flora gin. Yes, I'm over 18. Citrus gin. Navy citrus gin, 57%. Nice. Okay. North of Eden, the Admiral, New South Wales. Okay, I'll look that up. North of Eden Gin Distillery from Stony Creek in New South Wales. Let's see what they have. The Classic, the Connoisseur, the Admiral, and the... you get a Trinity. You get a mixed thing. So the Admiral, which is their overproof, $99. So a Sinful Gin, wickedly delicious Navy strength, 114 proof. So that's 57%. 99. This is fun exploring. Great Ocean Road gin from Split Point, kind of salty. Great Ocean Road gin tasting room. That sounds like them. At Aries Inlet. Cheers to all the mums. They've still got a Mother's Day special in this site. Home shop. Yes, I'm over 18. I'm over 18. Come on, fucking get it together. Get it together. Guilds. Split Point. Grapefruit cello. That's an interesting one. A version of limoncello made with grapefruit. I have to admit, that's quite interesting to me. Vibrant aroma, bright and bursting with white grapefruit peel, brioche, honeysuckle, and ginger. Complex with less sugar than some traditional cellos, allowing bitterness and spice to play off the forefront, contrasting with sweeter elements of the fruit itself. Gin is fantastic for sipping over ice, served with a small splash of tonic. Garnish with it. That is interesting to me. All right, so they do some packaged cocktails, as in bottled cocktails. Premix cocktails for $60. So 100 mils of 4. So 100 mils is like 2 cocktails. So 4 of them is like 8 cocktails. 8 cocktails for $60 is not bad, particularly because you can mix them up. Cafe lime gimlet, Negroni, fuck a Negroni, martini, and a raspberry old fashioned, which sounds interesting. Oh, the mix pack, or you get 4 dry martinis. No, okay. No, it's interesting, but I'm not going to get that. So, Great Ocean Road Gin. It's near the Round the Twist Lighthouse. Nice. Yes, Luke. I've shot videos on YouTube of friends actually singing the Round the Twist song at the lighthouse from Round the Twist. Great Ocean Road Gin, Split Point. Okay. $100. Won trophies at the Australian Gin Awards in 2019. So 57. So these ones are all in the region of 57%. $100 for Great Ocean Road, $99 for North of Eden. How much for the Navy Citrus? 129. Dang. And 95 for Caro. Okay, see, now I'm tempted to actually go for a drive one weekend to Split Point, the Great Ocean Road gin tasting place. Oh my God. Okay, so now you're agreeing, Kirsten, the grapefruit cello is delicious. Okay. Oh, see, I'm tempted to go for a weekend drive up there, or maybe take some time off with Mrs. Angry and go up there. Because I could see myself getting both of those, the grapefruit cello, because I love getting something that's different. If it's one thing. Oh, you go to a gin distillery, what do they think is their signature one? And but if they do one that's different, I often get that. And that grapefruit cello sounds great. Stella, oh, bread hot out of the oven with butter and jam. That's a fucking wicked dinner. Absolutely wicked dinner. Also, Kirsten, they're also at the market in Port Melbourne. Okay, well, that's easier, actually. What's the Port Melbourne market called? I just did the wrong search. Port Melbourne Market. There's South Melbourne Market. Gasworks Farmers Market. Okay, computer, can you fucking get your shit together? Gasworks Market. Oh, and you think Anne and Chris are cute humans. Excellent. Maybe I'll go down to the Gasworks Market. Okay, Gasworks Farmers Market. They have a website. Excellent. Okay, June 2021. So the next one, so they do it once a month. And the next one is June 29th. Sorry, June 19th. Why the fuck would I even say that? I think we used to go to that. Oh, okay. I might talk Mrs. Angry into going to that on June 19. Because we used to live closer to there. How far away is it now? No. I want to drive. I don't want to think. 20 minutes. Okay, it's only a 20-minute drive. Fuck yeah, I might do that. June 19. What day of the week is June 19? Saturday, of course. So I've been looking. Is that a date? No, so it's like Date night. 5th. It's not a date night. Okay. Oh, might do that. Go to that. That might be the answer. Go to the Gasworks market on June 19. Because like all the producers you mentioned, but Anne and Chris have the longest relationship. Oh, nice. Oh well, maybe I'll go there. That's sounding like a thing to me. To go to the Gasworks market on June 19. Excuse me. What I had to eat today? I got this super cheap blender from Big W. It was like $14.50. It was half price, even full price, $30. It was cheap. It was like $14.50. So even if this is shit, I'll get it. But it's just perfect for the meal replacement shakes I've been doing. I did one today, and it was just about perfect. And it fucking pulverized stuff really fast. I didn't know how good it'd be. So I think I'm definitely going to try like a slushy cocktail. So look, probably on a Friday night party night. I think I might do a slushy blender cocktail. So yeah, that's probably going to be rum. That to me, slushy cocktails just say rum to me, like some rum and pineapple and banana and coconut. That's what I think of when I think of. Although I suppose you get margarita slushies as well, which is tequila. But I don't know. I think maybe as soon as this Friday, might be doing slushy cocktails. Yeah, see, and it's gone straight for margaritas. Yes, and yeah, realistically, the last couple slushy cocktails I've had at venues have been margaritas. So frozen margaritas are actually probably more common than rum ones. But I feel I want to do like a frozen pina colada or something. Pina colada. You had some lovely lemon martinis on Friday. Nice. When Mrs. Angry and I went out last night, we went down like Chapel Street, and there's one place. Oh, Metal Maniac Matt hasn't been in tonight, but I actually followed his suggestion and went to the secret bar that's in the shop at the front is called Boston Subs. It seems to be like a sandwich shop, as in submarine sandwiches. But there's this thing that looks like a cool room door, and behind that is a tiki bar called Jungle Boy. And I had their sort of tiki-fied martini, which was nice. And Mrs. Angry had a fruity one that was fucking gorgeous, really sweet, very good. And then we went to another place called The Woods, and that's where Mrs. Angry ordered her 50-50 martini with sweet vermouth and confused the dude. And I had a very tropical one they called the Daintrys, which was good. And then I had this smoky Sazerac they made, which was fucking great. And it was cute because it was in this little bell jar thing, a cloche that was full of smoke. And you take the cloche off and the smoke goes. Very nice. So, Kirsten, you met the Great Ocean Road Gin Gorg crew at the very first Junipalooza. Had gin in bottle for 2 weeks. Wow. Okay. All right. So I'm definitely going to fuck it. And I'm going to, hopefully you'll remind me, Kirsten, but June 19, when I go to, that's the next Gasworks market. I'll go and see if I can find them. Because I've been to that Gasworks farmers market years ago. But I'll try and remember to go again. This purple ice is cute because it progressively makes you drink more and more purple as you drink it. Supposedly no taste in it, just the color from purple cabbage. But learn something. Or it's my first time experimenting with it anyway. And this is actually neighborhood mint that I had as a garnish. Someone planted a bunch of herbs in this thing on the footpath where Mrs. Angry and I go for a walk, and there are a few herbs, but the mint seemed to be doing really well. So I picked a bunch of mint because I had a specific vision of using it as a garnish. And so I picked a bunch of mint tonight and washed it in case dogs had been peeing on it. I washed it really thoroughly in case dogs had been peeing on it because, it's just on the footpath. So, plus the alcohol will kill any dog pee germs. So it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. It's all good. It's all good. I think, okay, this is the last booze I'm going to drink. I have a non-alcoholic drink to drink after this one. Not that I'm averse to necessarily getting even more drunk than I am now. I do have work in the morning. And 99 times out of 100, I'd be fine anyway. But I'd rather not risk it, quite honestly. I've had slightly more to drink than I usually would on a Sunday night. But young hearts run free, as the saying goes. Yes, Luke, I definitely don't want to garnish with dog piss. So the mint got a thorough wash. So I've been playing with various stuff today. I did this clarified goth martini, and I'm also making another milk clarified sweet and sour mix that's just lemon. It's made with these lemons that are called lemonades because I think they're actually a hybrid. They've been crossed with mandarins. A friend of mine has a tree of them. Brought them over. And this is filtering really slowly. Oh, that's still really cloudy. I think I'll run it through again. I'm going to leave this to run through overnight. That's actually comparatively cloudy. And I prefer it to be really clear. So I'm just going to run that through again. And I've just got to remember to be patient because this is made with a syrup, not a juice. So it goes weird and thick. And takes ages to filter. And I always get impatient with the filtering and do something stupid to fuck it up. So this one's just leaving it overnight. So I don't have to stress about it. So at the moment, I just had a little taste of it. And it's this really tangy lemon, but it's also half sugar. So it's not that sour. So it's going to end up being this really tangy lemon cordial that I think is going to be great for a number of cocktails. Hog hugging vegan. Hello. How are you this evening? Just getting some. Well, the contrast just from I had a tiny taste of the syrup and then coming back to this martini, which is comparatively dry. I think, well, you do the thing where you wake up the mint. Is that a little ASMR? Me whipping mint on my hand. Then you get that lovely mint aroma. Except that mint was wet. Now my hand's wet. That's good. Speaking of aromas, the one of the cocktails I had last night, the one that was called the Daintree, I thought, because it was very tiki, it was in a tiki mug, lots of crushed ice. I thought initially the garnish was pineapple fronds. And I looked more closely, and it was actually eucalypt leaves, but it was these really lemony ones. Like when you squeeze them, you got this absolutely delightful lemon eucalyptus aroma. It was fantastic. I think Mrs. Angry actually kept the leaves because they smelled that good, but they were very good. Yes, Begalich, it's moist. Oh, thanks. You've come here for cheering up, hog hugging me. Oh my God, it's like only 9 o'clock. I've definitely got to stop drinking alcohol because I'm a little bit drunk at the moment. And not with that, but I have some non-alcoholic beverage to see me through. So we'll do that. So, okay, I've got a new cocktail ASMR for the thing I keep threatening to do, a very long cocktail ASMR video that sounds like stuff glugging out of a bottle and stirring ice and then just clinking ice in a drink. Another one is smacking mint. So there you go. Kirsten, it may have been lemon myrtle. Do lemon myrtle leaves look like eucalypt leaves? Because these looked like eucalypt leaves. And this particular bar called The Woods had a fine selection of Australian spirits on their back bar, which I was quite fond of. I just hit the laptop, so that's why I wobbled. Including, I think their signature martini was made with applewood lemon aspen gin. So my non-alcoholic beverage is a SodaStream orange mango thing, and with the purple ice melting in it, it's probably going to go a funny color. Probably a very murky color. I'm going to look up, okay, I'm going to look up lemon aspen. Images. Okay, I'm looking at pictures of lemon aspen leaves, and it wasn't this. So it wasn't, I don't think it was lemon aspen. It was some type of eucalypt. Okay, hog hugging vegan. You sell them at work. They smell amazing. So it's a type of eucalypt. They looked exactly like I expect eucalypt leaves to look, but they had this incredible lemon aroma when you crush them. They're amazing. Very nice. And the drinks in this bar, the Woods, was actually quite good as well. The Saturday night, man, people go out. Bars were full. I went to one Jungle Boy, which I think is very popular. We went there really early, so we got in. There weren't many people about. Then we had dinner, and then a couple of bars I kind of looked at going into were full. But the Woods wasn't, and their stuff was good. Abigail, hello. What age do you have to be an elder in the trans community? I think it's over 35. You may well be correct. I looked up because I did put a thing in the title. Today is known as Honour Our LGBT Elders Day. We talked about this actually when Abigail was over on Friday, and I looked up, and it's actually really particularly talking about people who would be like in their fucking 60s now, and it was talking about the real sort of groundbreaking people, and it was talking about the Stonewall riots and even stuff prior to the Stonewall riots. I think if you want it to be you, Abigail, it can be. Luke, yes, we were pretty good at checking in. I think in one place we forgot. Not that we forgot to. We thought there'd be one at the table, and there wasn't. There was a barcode on the table, and we scanned that, and it was actually for the menu. But yes, we checked in at multiple places. I try to be good and do the check-in. I prefer it when people use the government one. I've even forgot what it's called, but I prefer that one to any standalone ones that maybe have questionable use. But oh, that's good. It's about time I drank something non-alcoholic, quite honestly. So, oof. Yes, that feels a bit better. Oops, sorry. What am I? God, what syrup is that? I make all these things and I don't label. Every time I make stuff and put it in bottles, Mrs. Angry says, you should label that. No, remember. And I never do. I never do. Just going to put this one back in the fridge. There's another little one. Aha, no, that's the honey one. This is another, that's the milk clarified orange one. See, I do know. Who was doubting me? Who? Identify yourself, doubters. Safa, good evening to you. It's kind of like I'm so drunk. This is just a nice, sweet drink now. And it feels like I'm still drinking a cocktail. And that's just because I'm a little bit drunk. So drinking a non-alcoholic orange mango drink, and it's just like I'm still drinking a cocktail. That's okay. Oh, Annette, by the way, if you're still there, Annette and I thought we should tell you. Sorry, Abigail and I thought we should tell you. Next Saturday night is apparently Goth night, or it's Goth Day. So we made a video on Friday night that will actually go up on my cocktail channel this coming Friday in the lead up, saying, hey, Saturday's Goth Day. And so we made a Goth martini. Yes, Annette, I don't know who declared it, but someone declared this coming Saturday is Goth Day. You know how I always look up days, and I like today is Honour Our LGBT Elders Day. This coming Saturday is Goth Day. So Abigail and I made and enjoyed a Goth martini, and that video will go live this coming Friday to alert people to the fact Saturday is Goth Day. Robot Mind Greg, good evening to you, sir. Yes, I think you're right, Greg. Goths hate the day. So that's what I'm saying. Saturday night is the celebration of Goth night. So get ready for that. So, yes, and I don't know who declared. Actually, I could look it up because they always say who declared it. Let me go. National Days in May. See what they tell us about National Goth Day. What date is this coming Saturday? 22nd. Okay. 22nd Being You Day. Craft Distillery Day. Nice. Oh, I should have done something for that. Okay, maybe it was on the other site. There are all these different sites that talk about having national days. Oh, yeah. NASCAR Day, which is like the opposite of Goth Day. Jesus, have I got this wrong? Goth. Wow, now I think I've got it wrong. That would be embarrassing if I did, but I'm sure I saw it. Okay, I've gone fucking insane. It's not here now. What the fuck? That is so fucking weird. May. Why the fuck is it not showing off? That is weirding me right the fuck out. National Day calendar. It's there. What the fuck? World Goth Day history. In May 2009, a radio station in Great Britain was discussing music subcultures. From this discussion, goth music DJs, Cruel Britannia, Mutton Old Goth created World Goth Day. They declared it would fall on May 22nd. World Goth Day began in the UK and is now celebrated throughout the world. There you go. What is it saying? Famous goth characters in film and television include Eric Draven from The Crow, Abby from NCIS, Tina from Glee, Wednesday Addams from The Addams Family, Frederick from Frasier, and Robin Daggers from How I Met Your Mother. There you go. Ooh, Stella. I want to see you in an Elvira costume, definitely. Safi, yes, Eurovision is back, although a lot of people are just performing on video rather than being there in Europe. Hog hugging vegan, you looked up lemon myrtle. True lemon myrtle appears to be a different genus. However, there's a tree called lemon ironbark. You think it's we sell as is misnamed. Okay, now I'm looking up lemon ironbark. Abigail likes Abby from NCIS. Lemon ironbark. That's a eucalypt. There you go. Yes, it could well have been that. So that's traditional eucalypt leaves. So what I had as a garnish in my drink on Saturday night may well have been lemon ironbark eucalyptus. See already how this color is changing because of my purple eyes? Yeah, okay, so that reconfirmed. I don't know why I couldn't find it. Next Saturday is World Goth Day. So there we go. And so to mark it, Abigail and I made a video that'll go up on the day before where we have a goth martini, which I thought it was pretty suitable because the red vermouth, the sweet vermouth, which is red, and then the brine from black olives makes it this very sort of crimson red black color, which is great. And this is a milk clarified version of that, which is also quite tasty. So, Matt, hello. Please dress in goth. Metal Manic Matt, you may well be pleased to learn I followed your advice and on Saturday night went to Boston Sub, or to be more accurate, the secret bar that's through the cool room door in Boston Sub, the Jungle Boy Bar, which is quite cool. So thank you for that suggestion. I actually followed your suggestion and went there on Saturday night. So I had a good night with Mrs. Angry doing dinner and cocktails. Safa, I don't understand if what you're saying. You're saying the actress who played Abby from NCIS was treated badly by the actor who played Gibbs, so she left the show. So when you say them character names, I don't know if that's something that happened within character on the show, or if you're talking about the actors who played the roles. Yes, Kirsten, lemon myrtle and lemon aspen. Actually, what's lemon aspen, actually? Now I need to look up lemon aspen. Lemon aspen. What do the leaves look like? Now, I think it was probably definitely lemon ironbark that I had on Saturday night. Or it could have been lemon myrtle. It actually could have been lemon. Oh no, I think it was probably. I've looked at the feathers of the feathers. Yes, they have feathers because they're birds. I've looked at the leaves of the three of them, and I'm reasonably sure that it was lemon ironbark eucalyptus. Oh, Stella also knows there was a clash between those actors. There you go. Yeah, Matt, you haven't been there for a few years. Remember being small. It is relatively small. I've been in much smaller bars, but it's relatively small. We went in there early because I suspected it was going to be popular, and we were having a relatively early dinner, like 6:30. So we went up Chapel Street. We probably went into Jungle Boy at like probably about 5:45, before 6 o'clock anyway, and there weren't many people there. The guys at the bar were very nice, had a couple of nice cocktails, and then went on and had dinner, and then came back down Chapel Street. And when we went past Boston Subs, there was a bunch of people out the front, and I suspect they may have been waiting for a spot in Jungle Boy. I think it might have been very popular and very crowded. The other possibility is they just really like sandwiches and they were there to get a sandwich. I was slightly tempted to stick my head in the door and say, "Hey, you all waiting to get into the bar, or do you just like sandwiches?" Could be either, really. But yes, we managed to get in there. The drinks were nice. The staff were very nice. Yeah, we had a good night. And I think it was smart to go earlier because another place I wanted to check out, they said, there were a couple places that were full because it's Saturday night and you kind of want them to be full on a Saturday night. Yes, Luke, submarine sandwiches that one would suspect they do in Boston Sub. And you can, of course, order those so you can have snacks while you're having cocktails in Jungle Boy as well. You can order any of the sandwiches from Boston Sub, and they have a few other bar snacks as well. Honestly, not a bad night. I could see spending a whole night in Jungle Boy if you just wanted to have some snacky food, have some snacks, and knock them back. So Stella, Paulie Peretta, who plays Abby, accused Mark Harmon, who plays Gibbs, of being a toxic, abusive piece of shit. I'm sure she was right. And that's the thing. Mark Harmon, because he has such a long career by the time he was in NCIS, I think there are probably few more entitled and toxic people in the world than straight white men who've been famous in Hollywood for a number of decades. I think you have very entitled and toxic people in that situation. And because Paulie Peretta would have been at least 20 years younger than Mark Harmon, if not 30 years younger than Mark Harmon. And I could just see someone in Mark Harmon's position being a complete piece of shit to someone in Paulie Peretta's position. Was young, and I think that was her first major role. So I can see someone like Mark Harmon being a shit first, just because they've spent decades being pampered and it's grown them into a obnoxious piece of shit. But second, I do genuinely think older people in that situation are very insecure, and their insecurity manifests itself in being toxic and antagonistic. Stella, full of bread now. Your body will regret the carbs and gluten tomorrow, but fuck it. Taste buds loved it. I'm go with the taste buds, I say. I back your taste buds on that. Yes, I didn't use all the mint tonight. But you can do something with it if you want. I used it in one drink. So Oh. Ugh. So this orange mango soda stream was actually a good purchase. It's really quite nice. Oh, and I'm just talking to this angry. Actually, this is a useless thing, but I'm going to say it anyway. One of my cocktail friends on YouTube, they had a thing. It's called a mint saver. It's some sort of thing that you don't even refrigerate it, but specifically designed after you've picked mint and you put it in it, some sort of Tupperware-ish thing. The mint sort of stays fresh for an extended period of time. We'll have to look into if it's in any shops here. This is me saying useless information because I don't know how to deliver on it. But I saw that just today that someone had what they called a mint saver or mint preserver. They said it doesn't even need refrigerating. So, yeah. I agree, Kirsten. Bread is life. Safa bread tastes good. So they don't really like supermarket bread, but homemade bread's everything good about life. Straight out of the oven. Oh yeah, we actually had the cliche happening here in the early days of COVID. Young Ms. Angry decided she was doing the whole thing, baking bread. I still have a fucking huge amount of flour because I bought an enormous thing of flour from Costco because we don't bake bread that often. But Young Ms. Angry actually did a thing where she developed the sourdough starter and she was making sourdough. Oh, fucking awesome. I love bread straight out of the oven. Crusty bread. Oh, yes. But that fell out of fashion. Every now and then she makes some bread or makes something else with the flour. That's okay. So, but yes, we had that cliche in the early part of COVID of actually doing the homemade sourdough. So, but that was a lifetime ago. That probably stopped about 6 to 8 months ago, which seems like forever. Time doesn't mean anything anymore. Tip from Kirsten: you can make mint last by popping it in a takeaway container with a damp paper towel. Thank you for that tip. I like that tip. Because we are going out of mint season in Australia now. Mint is a sort of summer herb, and it's more difficult to get fresh mint in winter. So Mrs. Angry's been growing mint in the garden, but it's starting to fade away. And as I said, this I got from like a neighborhood planting that was doing well, but it's going to go away soon. So you were baking bread before the lockdown, then stopped baking when you started working. Is your first loaf since leaving work? Oh, that's fucking excellent. Yes. Safa, I'm more than willing to be corrected, but from what I understand from what Mrs. Angry told me, she's expecting the mint she was growing to die off in winter and then come back in spring. So if someone knows more about the growth and growing of mint than I do, I am more than willing to take correction on that topic. That's just what I understood from Mrs. Angry that the mint was going to fade away in winter. Oh, God, Safa, I don't know. I'm not the family gardener. Mrs. Angry is the family gardener. I defer to her on all things gardening. So, Stella, you have fabric bags called swag bags. Get them damp, put your produce in them, extends the fridge life for quite a while. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, Safa, the frost that you get in the regions, that fucking kills everything. A lot of vegetation has real trouble with frosts. I do remember this thing when I was at college. I'd been growing like this rubber tree plant for years and it was doing quite well. And I remember at one time, this is in Bathurst, where you get quite severe frosts. And my girlfriend at the time said it should put it outside. And I was like, that doesn't seem like a good idea. And she was like, no, it's good for it. You should put it outside. And so I put it outside because she said to, and there's a frost that night, which basically fucking killed the plant. And I was like, that was a bad idea, wasn't it? And she was very apologetic. And I was like, yeah, apologies don't bring back the dead plant that I'd nurtured for several years. Shit happens. Still, you haven't planted mint yet, so kind of test the life cycle. Do need plants. Apparently, if you plant it and it takes hold, it just goes fucking nuts. It just really spreads. Like I said, someone planted it just like on the footpath essentially around there, and it's really doing quite well. But yeah, Mrs. Angry tells me it's going to die off in winter. We have a bunch of herbs. There's rosemary, and what other herbs do we have? Do we have thyme and sage and whatnot? I don't know. I feel like you planted a bunch of herbs in the gardens. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Sage, yeah. I've got rosemary and sage and mint. Okay, mint dies off in winter. Is that true? Yes. Okay. Mint does die off in winter. I thought that's what I've been told. Kirsten, don't plant mint in the ground, only in a pot. Yes, I believe if you plant mint in the ground, it will go absolutely feral and just really spread. Ours is in a pot. Stella, you need to choke out the fucking double G's. I'm not exactly sure what that means. That, Kirsten, mint is like herpes. You never get rid of it. Well, I just wanted mint for cocktails, and Mrs. Angry, okay, and we picked it from somewhere else, and she just stuck it in pots, and it's like that. You literally just do a cutting and just stick it in a pot, and it grows. It's quite feral. I'm amazed at how purple that ice stays. Like it's purple all the way through. The last little bit of it is still completely purple. And that's just from purple cabbage. So there's a hot tip. If you want purple ice that will turn your drinks purple, you just put hot water on purple cabbage leaves and freeze that. Take the cabbage leaves out first, okay? Because thyme is good in summer. Oh my God, the summertime gin from Patient Wolf. That is such a good gin. Oh my God. So yes, Kirsten and Nettie and Abigail and Kirsten's husband all met up at the Patient Wolf distillery a little while ago. It's kind of just up the road from me. It's not very far away at all. And besides being super nice people at the Patient Wolf distillery, their gins are really good. And their summertime gin, which is the one I bought, is fucking great. And I think when I use up the cherry gin from Anther, which I got when I went for a weekend away with Mrs. Angry up past Geelong, because Anther's in Geelong, and their cherry gin is really nice to the point it's mostly gone. When it's gone, I'm going to go back to Patient Wolf and get their slow gin, which I think Nettie bought from them when we went there. It's very good. Safa, how often does it frost up in Melbourne? Hardly ever. Like actual real serious frosts, very rare in Melbourne because it's being close to the coast means you don't get those really harsh bits of cold. We get fog very often in winter, but actual really harsh frosts are relatively rare. Like where I grew up in Dubbo in Western New South Wales, fucking frosts all the time in winter. Like we used to marvel, like if you leave something out with water overnight, it would just freeze solid in the backyard because of how cold it got at night. Lemonhead, hello, good morning to you. Almost 9:30 p.m. here, but good morning to you. So, Stella, double G's are the favorite plant of Satan. Seed pods are like a jack of barbed wire, hurt like a motherfucker when you stand on them. And they remain viable in soil for 10 years and you can't kill them with poison. Fucking hell. That is an intense sounding plant you have just described. I'm just going to get a little more ice. Not more of my purple ice, just normal ice. A little more ice. And going to have a little more of my non-alcoholic orange mango. It's like my brainwave that I had relatively recently on the nights where I don't want to drink a lot in the streams. I was drinking non-alcoholic drinks in the first half of the stream and then alcoholic drinks in the second half, which in retrospect was really fucking stupid. I should drink the alcoholic drinks in the first half of the stream, get drunk as much as I want to, and then drink non-alcoholic drinks to slowly taper off as I'm getting ready for bed. Far more fucking sensible, which is what I'm doing tonight, by the by. Looks kind of good, doesn't it? I actually just... Mint is a great garnish. Looks good. Kirsten knows double G's too. I've never heard of double G's. I've got no fucking idea what they are. I've never heard of them. Oh, wow. That was a really good purchase. I just randomly got that no sugar orange and mango for SodaStream, and it's really good. Yes, Lemonheads, sometimes there's a danger I'm going to wake up in my neighbor's garden. So I'm just going to look this up. Double G's. Rumex hypogoice. Synonym MX australis. Commonly known in English as Southern Three-Corner Jack, Devil's Thorn, or Double G, is a herbaceous plant of the Polygonaceae, native to South Africa, invasive species in Australia, Texas, and Pakistan. Oh, these fuckers. Sorry, the thorn from these. We call them cat heads where I grew up. Yeah, they have these, bindies. We called just all the weeds that had sharp bits that fucking hurt your feet if you tread on them. We call them all bindies. But this particular one that has these sharp points on them, we called them cat heads. And they're just fucked. Stella, double G's are all over Western Australia. Live to fuck up unsuspecting Victorians who are accustomed to walking around yards barefoot like sweet summer children. No, we had these fuckers in Dubbo where I grew up. We called them cat heads. There are a couple different variants of bindies, which Annette, yes, I agree, all caps, fucking hate bindies. There were a couple variants that we called bindies. It's basically any weed that has sharp things that hurt your fucking feet if you tread on them. They're bindies. But these ones, what you're calling double G's, we call them, we call the thorn, which would be all over the ground, hard as fuck with these really sharp points on it, like incredibly aggressive vegetation. We call them cat heads. And I'll look, okay, for people who don't know, because I looked it up, I'll show you a pic. Chrome tab, double G's. So, I mean, that's not a very big picture of them. But these ones, I guess you can see why we call them cat heads, because from a certain perspective, they have these pointy bits that look like cat ears. And that's apparently what the plant looks like. I don't remember seeing them like that. But yeah, the fuckers on the ground, we would call them cat heads. So if they could be crap, I could see them actually puncturing bike tires too. They're fucking brutal. Yeah, so I've this is the first time I've heard them referred to as double Gs. We called them cat heads. So I learned something tonight. So that's a good thing. It's always a good time when you learn something. These are widely known as double Gs. At least in Western Australia, they're known as double Gs. We called them cat heads, and man, they fucking hurt. They're like these little things, but they got really sharp bits on them, and they really fucking hurt. Lemonheads. Last concert I went to, man, I'm old. I don't fucking go to concerts. Christ, I would have to fucking dredge my memory for the last time I went to a concert. Probably, God, the one that springs to mind is the Avalanches, and that was like 20 years ago. I just don't go to concerts. It's not a thing. It's not the thing I go, ooh, I've got to go to a concert. Yep, it's just not a thing I do. I'm having trouble thinking of a more recent concert than the Avalanches 20 years ago. That would make sense, Stella. You think in WA call them double Gs due to the large South African population derived from the Afrikaans name for them. Yeah, and what I just read is they're a South African plant and they're an invasive species here. So the South Africans would have their own name for them. Yes. Right. Cool. Yeah, God, Lemonade Dave got me really thinking. Maybe more recently than the Lemonhead, than the Avalanches. Might have gone to Not Drowning Waving, or My Friend the Chocolate Cake, which is some of the people from Not Drowning Waving. But yeah, I'm just not a concert person. Not since I were a youth. Used to go to shit tons of live shows when I were young, living in Sydney. But that were my younger days. My younger days before I became a grumpy old man. Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't go to live shows much at all. I still like music and I like finding new music and whatnot. But yeah, I just don't go to concerts. Because I'm a born old person. And that's just the way life goes sometimes. Net, what's the latest on AIDSy? Abigail probably has the latest on AIDSy because she has visited him and he's had a fall in a hospital, which has hurt him, which the hospital people aren't happy about. And I think he's stuck in hospital for a while. And I think he probably quite dislikes things the hospital people. I might try and call him tomorrow, actually, if I remember. If my thoroughly exciting work life doesn't distract me, I might try and call him tomorrow, see if I can find out what's happening. But it's kind of not good for him at the moment. I think the summary of the current AIDSy status could be described as not good. So Abigail is saying he's okay. He'll be there a few weeks. He dislikes the room he's been moved to. He's surrounded by really old people. Yeah, and I think that's because he's a fall risk and whatnot because of his chronic health issues and the fact that like his joints are fucked and now his motor skills are fucked. A lot of the things he's at risk of are things that often affect much older people So as much as it pisses him off, I'm not at all surprised that the hospitals got him with older people, because I think there's a similar sort of care required. Annette, I'm sure he would really appreciate a visit if you're able to visit him. But yes, I think he is going to be in hospital for a while. And it's this big sort of up in the air. Ooh, what's going to happen? Who fucking knows what's going to happen? It's all very, 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 very complex. Ooh. Sorry, I was looking for a bottle over there, and I thought I'd put it. Oh no, there it is. Sorry, I'm going senile in my old age. I'm just thinking of sort of. I've got a bunch of crap just out of camera shot. Mrs. Angry thinks it's hilarious when I do the live streams and you see this. It kind of looks ordered and like everything's under control, yet all around there. Just out of camera shot is a bunch of crap and chaos. And I was thinking of trying to organize a couple of things from there. Namely this, a little clarified cocktail. You might have missed when I was talking about this, Abigail. This is a clarified version of the goth martini we made on Friday night. So I had to do the close-ups for the video for my YouTube channel. Plus, I also thought Mrs. Angry might like a clarified version of that. So I made it again, and then for a laugh, milk clarified it. And it's pretty good. I had a bit of it earlier. It's pretty good. I'm thinking for my YouTube channel, where I often do milk clarified cocktails and put them up on Monday, call it Milk Punch Monday. And then I put a big guitar riff in there. Because why not? I was thinking of doing one that's really counterintuitive, like not even that martini, like a classic dry martini that's just gin and dry vermouth, which is basically a clear cocktail. I'm thinking of milk clarifying that just to see what it's like. And my whole idea is thinking would be milk clarified cocktail. Is there any point? Because normally one of the things with clarifying a cocktail is it looks really different to the base cocktail that you clarified. But of course, a martini is already clear. So a clarified martini will also be clear. So visually, it's really not going to be different. The only question is does it do anything interesting to the taste and mouthfeel that makes it worthwhile? I think that would be a fun experiment, because there's not going to be any visual difference between a classic martini and a clarified classic martini, but it might taste, and it should taste, quite different and feel different in your mouth, a different consistency in your mouth. But that's just kind of a weird experiment that I may do at some point. I've had that idea and thought, yeah, that seems a weird, strange, and unusual thing to do. And I'm a weird, strange, unusual type of guy. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe. So that's something that might happen in the future. I haven't been keeping up with anything happening in the world. It's like, is there anything happening in the world? So Morrison's still copping heaps of flack for being a piece of shit, particularly about Australians in India. And he doesn't seem able to cope with it. Of course, the Israel-Palestine conflict is fucking horrific. Josh Frydenberg defending how fucked their budget is. A bar with no booze. Is that the mocktail cocktail? Oops. John Barrowman's being dropped from Doctor Who stuff after allegations of him being inappropriate. Probably deserved. There's a veterinarian shortage in Australia. There you go. Oh, Taiwan's having a bad run with COVID. Indian Prime Minister Modi seems to have disappeared while India goes down to shit. I'm not seeing anything particularly interesting in the news headlines. Hippie days end for WhatsApp. Jesus, that's in Australia. That sounds pretty fucking aggressive. Kmart shoppers, unbelievable find in pack of vanilla fragrant tea light candles. Okay, I'll bite. What was in the candles? There was a fly in the wax. That has been reported in the media for absolute fucking... Oh, we're doomed as a fucking society that fucking got reported in the media. Oh, yes, Craig McLaughlin's a piece of shit. Prince Harry's friends with Orlando Bloom. Great. Who fucking cares? Science. SpaceX. Elon Musk is a piece of shit. China reports successful spacecraft landing on Mars. Neat. Right, so there weren't any big news stories, honestly. I was just looking at news things. Yes, John. I do remember that, Abigail, with John Barrowman making really quite stupid transphobic statements. That was from a few years ago. Kirsten, yeah, Abigail and I both partook of the ginger beer cask whiskey on Friday and enjoyed it. I think I made a whiskey sour with it, which was really good. But yes, I quite like the Starward ginger beer cask whiskey. It's very like on the nose. It's very ginger. Like you get real ginger notes when you have a bit of a sniff. For me, the ginger wasn't so forward in the taste, but it had very sort of Christmas pudding, Christmas cake spice tastes in it. So there was like ginger and even like cinnamon and clove and that sort of thing. I thought there was a little element of that sort of flavor in the whiskey. Abigail, the China Mars landing is noteworthy because their first attempt, They didn't merely orbit Mars, but actually landed. And yes, good point. Quite the accomplishment given how many failures there've been. So yeah, there you go. I don't know if they have any probes or robots, but I love the idea that, Marbot, as so far as we know, Mars is populated entirely by robots. Oh, you hate the words on the packing box, Kirsten, but you designed the actual box. I love the box, the way you tear the strip off the side and then open it up. I quite like that. I did that on the stream. I did the big opening on the stream on Thursday or Friday night. But yeah, it is very nice packaging, and the ginger beer cask whiskey is quite good. So I've now got, I think, 3 limited edition Starwoods over there. I've still got some of the Dolce, the one that was finished in dessert wine barrels. I've got the mesquite smoked one, which I quite like. I think that's a good peat whiskey substitute. It's a very different kind of smoke to a peated whiskey, but it's smoke. And now I've got the ginger beer cask. So I have a few Starwood limited editions there. Oh God, they pay. Okay, see that's the thing, Kirsten. If they paid an obnoxious consultant for the words, I've seen that shit on Tumblr. It's not original. It's not original at all. For those who missed it, I think it's just over there, the box anyway. But it's basically like you have these words, and it was like, if you're one of the common folk, you read from the top down that says all these sort of negative things about, don't challenge things, follow the status quo. Then it says at the bottom, the bold read from the bottom up. And when you read it from the bottom up, it says, always challenge the status quo and upset things and whatnot. All well and good, but not remotely original. So yeah, if they paid an obnoxious consultant for that, yeah. And you can't say the words without remembering the obnoxious consultant and being ignored. Yeah, I feel like they got a bit ripped off then if they paid an obnoxious consultant, because that stuff was not original at all. That concept of reading the thing 2 different ways is quite old. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to do something because I'm all distracted and trying to get things organized. Wait, where's my whey? My curds? I don't know where they are. I was looking for... Did you do something with the Tupperware container of curds? No. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm still trying to find a thing here. Eggs, cream. Oh, there they are. Is that them? Yep, that's them. Wow, this is like full. Because Mrs. Angry and I are being well behaved and not eating sweets, and she was using these in desserts, things like rice pudding and bread and butter pudding. But I'll keep going. How's this going? Oof, it's a bit cloudy still. That's okay. I'll do this. So, we get the milk clarified cocktail. And because we ran it through a filter, and then we have all the curds in there. A little purple tinge to them, which comes from the sweet vermouth that was used. They smell quite good. But I'm gonna scrape them off this coffee filter, put them in a Tupperware container to potentially be used at some point. Lemonhead's friend of yours used to drink it. You could smell it a mile away. Lefroy. Yeah, those really peated Scotch whiskies are definitely an acquired taste. I don't mind them a little bit, but they can be quite intense. You don't get many peated whiskies in Australia because we don't have peat in Australia. So you'd have to import the peat. Although someone did say in one of the conversations, Tasmania has a type of peat. It's just different from the peat in Scotland. These curds taste like. That's interesting. Stella, you love having a bushfire in your mouth. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to use that here. Wash my hands here because they're a bit sticky. All right. Whew. And now I'm going to put this in the spit that's left in a bottle. So there we go. And I'll have that another night. My clarified goth martini. Kirsten, so there is peat in Australia, it's just different. And Abigail, you knew someone called Pete. I did like there was a joke British paleontologists made when they found a very well-preserved corpse in a peat bog in the UK. I think they were estimating the person died somewhere around Roman times in the UK, and they were quite well preserved because they'd been buried in this peat bog, and when they were examining the body, they had just their little joke. They had colloquially started calling the individual Pete, P-E-T-E, Boggs, which is interesting. Stella, you think, yes, Hellier's Road at Tasmanian Pete. And Stella, speaking of smoke, you might have some mezcal. I have to admit, I do like mezcal in a drink. I used to describe mezcal as like drinking from an ashtray, but nice. Now I use smoked barbecue meat metaphors because that is why it tastes smoky, because the agave, that's the base of it, is actually cooked in a particular way that imparts smoke to it. I still hold that actually drinking from an ashtray but nice is a reasonable description of mezcal. But I do like mezcal in a cocktail. Lemonheads, are you asking what happened to the guy that was in the peat bog? Because the evidence they were able to point out seemed to have been a sacrifice, because the person, they were bound and their throat seemed to have been cut. So it actually suggested it could have been some kind of a sacrifice. The person was bound, had their throat cut and thrown into a peat bog. Because did I see the pallets of Lark whiskey for sale at Costco? I didn't see pallets, but I did actually buy some Lark whiskey from Costco online. They've never actually had Lark on the shelf when I was in Costco, but they advertised, because I'm on their mailing list because I'm a Costco member, and they advertised some Lark whiskey for sale. So I got some because I didn't actually have any Lark whiskey. I had a Lark liqueur, but not Lark whiskey. Oh, everyone's is that where it's coming from? Because people boycott the releases that come from the old Nant distillery. So Costco's got them. Ah. So Stella, you drink peaty whiskeys straight, but prefer mixing the mezcal. No, I like particularly getting a cocktail that's traditionally tequila and splitting the base between tequila and mezcal. That often works really well. God, now I want to look up, is Costco still selling lark here? Or I want to go visit the Costco and see. Um, see alcohol prices. You actually have to log in. Something about licensing laws they don't advertise. So I got to remember my login to Costco, and I'm not always good at remembering that. Let's see if I remembered that correctly. I did not. Let's try again. Oh, come on. Fuck off. Yes. Jesus. Oh, come the fuck on. I'm just forgetting everything now. What the fuck? Okay, just get fucked. Just get fucked. Okay? Just all of you and your fucking passwords, get the fuck out. Fuck off. I mean, it's like NyQuil on the rocks for when you're sick but sociable. Mitch Hedberg quote. So, Kirsten, you brought yourself a bottle of the Remnant bottling yesterday, which was also barrels from Nant. It was delicious and helping the original owners get some money back. Well, that's good. Good. Now I want to look into it. I got to try and remember to look into is Costco selling stuff under the Lark name cheap because it's actually from the Nant distillery. I got, like I said, I got one bottle. I felt special for having some Lark in my collection. I have to see what else they're having and if it's cheap or whatever. It's a funny old world when these things happen. Oh, it's almost 10 o'clock. Okay, Stella, a very short story of Nant. Someone came up with this idea of a investment thing because it's quite expensive to make a whiskey and you have to wait years to get a return on thing. But if you make a good whiskey, you get a good return. So what they said is to fund us developing the whiskey, you buy the barrel of whiskey ahead of time for price X, which funds us and lets us make the whiskey. And then 5 years down the line, when it's ready for release, it's worth multiples of what you paid for the barrel. And then you're able to sell the barrel for those prices, which in theory is a good idea. It's like, you have to invest years to develop a whiskey. So if someone pays you enough to do the development thing, and then they make a profit on selling the whiskey when the whiskey has matured and is ready to go, it's great. Except then the people behind it were fucking scammers, and they sold more barrels of whiskey than they could possibly actually make. And as the years went by, then they're playing this shell game of trying to sell even more of them, and then they were apparently even filling barrels with shitty whiskey that they'd got from somewhere else, and so it was basically a complete scam. So what could have been a good idea, an investment, get people to finance the development of a whiskey, and then when it's matured, it's worth more than they paid for it, so they can sell it at a profit. It's a good idea, but then the people behind it were just greedy scammers, and they were also subsequently found guilty of pulling essentially the exact same scam, but with cattle in Queensland. And yeah, they were convicted of that. And they're never allowed to be company directors or whatever. So that because technically Australian Whiskey Holdings changed their name to Lark Distilling, which has 2 production sites. So if they release a blended spirit for both sites, it can't be called a single malt. Okay. Which they did. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Lark Distilling was the rebirth of Australian distilling from Bill Lark, but he cashed out to this big company, and why the fuck not? Quite honestly, and now there's some. I mean, but anyway, it's 10 o'clock now. Yeah, Stella, if you look up, Nant distilling scam online, you get all these filthy details of what happened. But yes, so that is it for the evening. It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go to bed. I won't be on tomorrow night. I'll probably be watching some TV with Mrs. Angry. But the plan will be to be back on Tuesday night. So hope to see you then. Hope you all have fun. I'll see if I can talk to Aidsy before Tuesday night and get an update, find out what's happening. But fare thee well, fine peoples. Hopefully see you again soon. But I'm going to get ready for Betty Buys. So bye for now.